This Humankind video was meant to be a tale of the expansionist cultures, how they've changed and what they do well. Instead, I stole this wonder mid-construction. It's a spicy one. Stay tuned. It's that time where we roll the dice. Do we get the culture or do I have to try again? Oh my goodness, he did. Okay, so here we go, the Assyrians. Their trait, which you'll keep forever, +1 land movement speed on all of your units, and +5 combat strength while you're ransacking. That combos really well with the fact that these guys are expansionists, and I'll share more about how the expansionist ability has changed, spoiler alert, considerably for the better, in recent Humankind updates, but moreover they also have the Danu, which is kind of like their unique garrison. It also provides a little bit of extra strength and crucially some influence, and their Assyrian riders are great at taking advantage of everything that expansionists should do. Grab them before somebody else does. Although, let's be real, really somebody else is probably going for this. However, let's jump in. This territory that I established is pretty good. You can see it's a 12-12, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to upgrade this one into a city. Worth noting, we can buy our Danu with influence. It's one of those special districts like harbours and garrisons, rather than the core FIMS districts, that food and industry and so forth. So you can buy it with influence. Really nice. But in this case, I think it's better to get a city down first, get some industry online, then the Danu. It does generate +2 influence, so it's important. Here's a really important consideration, actually. I often like to get Pottery Workshop down first to start the influence machine. It provides +4, but for an additional few turns, I can get my Danu online. It's less influence, but I do get that extra combat strength and fortification. However, I argue in the case of a capital city in particular, where it's not a forward war outpost, it really might not be a good idea to build this district straight away. It's not like the Mycenaeans one, but it does still have promise, and we'll talk a bit more about that as the video progresses. But I would recommend a more industrial start as an expansionist culture. So I'm going to pursue that myself. And really, we cannot forget the importance of the early game tech tree. Here again, just like the Mycenaeans, these guys, the Assyrians, have their Assyrian rider bundled in with actually an even better technology because horses are so important. Their infrastructure upgrade, Animal Barns, is so important at providing that food across all of your cities, and you get your unique unit. This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. And as luck would have it, this is actually a really fantastic start to demonstrate expansionists in practice. So I've just got a couple of really basic units here. Literally, it's 10 turns-ish into a 300-turn game, and I've spawned next to an unlucky sap here who has placed down an outpost next to mine. So I'm going to use the expansionist ability. In case you didn't know, it's called Under One Banner. Basically, you can use it just like you would use this over here, the normal ransack ability, to destroy an outpost or a district. But the expansionist ability works a little bit differently. It takes a few extra turns often, but what it does is it doesn't just destroy the outpost, but it takes it for our own, saving us on influence, which is another reason why I recommend you make your capital more of an industrial site if you're playing as the Assyrians. But anyway, let's walk through, and another reminder, as an expansionist, we can walk through for free. We can forcibly annex territories occupied by another empire's outposts and administrative centers, and we can always trespass. So border policies don't matter to us. Another crucial thing to remind you about is that our key star are the expansionist stars. These have changed a little bit as well. Not only are they easier to earn, but they're displayed a little bit differently now too. You can see here that in order to achieve my first star, I have to have 4 territories attached to any city, including that city itself. So this has changed a bit now. You don't need to go out and constantly find more and more new territories, but instead it's really explicitly focused on connecting territories to the capital, which is why, as an expansionist, it's really great that I can move over onto this outpost, click my expansionist ability, and for 25 gold, I can take this outpost for free instead of having to spend influence to get it myself. And oh my goodness, I just scared off 2 of their units, and now they've converted this territory into a city. But because I've scared off their units, they don't have anything here defending it. So we're going to quickly jump in, refuse a trade treaty, declare a surprise war on the Mycenaean neighbor themselves, this militarist Russia of a neighbor with insane industry has unfortunately let me just hoover this up for free. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad. Let's quickly attach this territory so they can't do the same to me and pillage it. Going for early war does unlock cultural blessing as well, I'm pretty sure. Again, we don't have concrete data on how these are unlocked, but I've noticed that if I go in an early war, and particularly if I take a city, I get to unlock this. And this is a fantastic civic because it gives you extra influence on all of your administrative centers and main plazas. So any connected territory, which you're rewarded for doing as an expansionist, will provide you with more influence. You can see here I've got it before I even get the 2 generic ones you usually start with for reaching, I think, 8 population, 8 or 10. Unfortunately, my forward aggression into this territory has also paid off, not because I was able to use the expansionist ability, but instead because these units here happen to be now standing also next to a relatively undefended city. A difficult one to attack, I'll give them that. The high ground is definitely playing in their favor here. Let's see if they're willing to leave the city if I step out of it. Just bounce back into this forest and let's see what they do. Nah, nothing. Do not attack over that forest though, whatever you do. Just hold. Hold. We're dealing roughly equal damage. We'll do this. Hopefully it will divert all of these units which are coming this way to take this city that I've just taken from them. Scare that one off. There's a bit of war support for me. Please, no, fight me. Shall we have peace in our time? I think I might have to ransack this city. Let's start ransacking it and see what happens. I don't have the military to keep it, and it's losing stability fast. Here, we're just going to keep doing the old end round trick, but they seem to like attacking into this one rather than this one. So, what we're going to do is just swap them over so that the healthy unit is in place, and then end round, automatically defending again. And you can see we're slowly wearing this one unit down. Unfortunately, it counts as a defeat, but we will be back with a vengeance. I'll even pay for the heal. That's how keen I am to get back in there. Okay, here we go. Round 2. You can see they've got some fences and a very weak levy. Let's assault the city again. But this time, I know that they are less likely to attack this unit. So I'm going to go in first and damage them. Wow. Okay, they went for it. Mood. Defend there. Now they'll go for this one. We'll trade roughly even blows when they attack me, but certainly not even when I attack them. So it's crucial that they come out of their walls to try and fight me. But this time, with that attack, it's actually paying off in my favor. And I'm willing to lose a unit, so this unit may become sacrificial lamb, just to deal a bit of extra damage here. We can hold for one more round though, perhaps. Screw it, let's go. We're going all in. Balls to the walls. We did it. How good. That has actually caused their last city to fall to me, and in a slightly unconventional way, I've destroyed the Mycenaeans. I didn't really mean to do that, even. Oh well, I mean, we're kind of doing expansionist-y things. I think I'll keep this city, so I'm going to build my unique district, which, as you can see, only provides +2 influence, right? So it's not the most yield-worthy district, and especially if you saw my video yesterday on the Mycenaeans, you're probably just thinking, this is a worse Mycenaean district, and to be honest, you're not wrong. This is the Assyrians' real downside. The only upside to it is that it does provide extra influence and it doesn't cost you stability. So as far as your stability goes, you can place it down for free. Just like a garrison, you can place it down anywhere. Crucially, when you're not building it in a pre-existing city though, I think its real strength is that you can use influence to build a nice fortification district that provides you with more influence, right? That's the key strength to it. If you're curious how this played out, this was originally supposed to be part of the video, but sadly, my hard drive was full and it didn't record it, but I wish that it did. Let me show you what happened. So I moved through into the Romans, a fantastic addition to the Assyrians, by the way. Their triumphant arc district is amazing. And they're still an expansionist culture. Let me just really quickly show you what happened. I took this, which was not a city, but actually a territory, using my expansionist ability. This territory happened to be the territory that was connected to their city, which I just took up here, right? It was connected to that city, but it wasn't a city itself, and they were constructing the Temple of Artemis. So I used my expansionist ability to not only destroy a territory, but actually, instead, take it as my own. And that meant that I was able to hoover up the tile that the Temple of Artemis was being built on, and now it's mine. I took a territory where a wonder was under constructed, and I took it for myself. I've also just won this war with them, taken their last city, so they should just plummet into nothing now. Oh, and wiping them out has unlocked foreign customs. This amazing civic that gives you double fame from your aesthete stars for the rest of the game. So good. And I think this really rounds out the strategy, actually. Right? So it's pretty simple. As an expansionist, I expanded into their cities and took the territories that were attached to the city before trying to take the city itself. That made the war a lot easier. It also reduces the amount of war score I need to complete a war. You see where I'm going with this? I'm able to force surrender easier because the city was smaller and I had fewer territories to take under my control. Also, in the process, while doing that, I've also created some really wicked triumphant arc. You can see here, it's providing its full range of benefits because I am triumphant in victory. How good! Overall, this combined strategy of working your way in, taking the border territories, turning them into cities if you want to, and then sneaking your way through will not only accidentally maybe steal you some wonderful, literally wonderful tiles, this goes of course as well for natural wonder tiles. Did they take a territory that has a natural wonder in it? Go Expansionist and take it right back off them. My goodness, this is a strong strategy. I'm looking at expansionist empires totally differently now. And I hope that given the changes, the fact that they're cheaper, the fact that their era stars work much better, acknowledging again the fact that it's connecting territories to cities, not just taking territories themselves. So you're rewarded now essentially for combining militarism or influence and soft power and connecting territories to cities. It's a much easier way to earn fame. It's a much better way to earn fame. And I think that expansionists are really worth a go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.